Hello everyone. Oh my god, that's always so loud. Hello everyone. Happy Hot Take Tuesday. Welcome to the channel of mine. Sometimes I mix up my my intros for Game Raven and myself. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. It's so wonderful to see you all. I apologize for a little bit of delay. I was kind of sort of panicking because I did not know what I wanted to talk about. These things always come up the last minute, more like minutes later, after I'm supposed to start. But that's where my brightest ideas come in. You know, I'm one of those people that procrastinate to the last second, and my performance is through the roof. So that's always kind of been me. So I apologize for the delay, but I think I have a great Hot Take Tuesday that this might be a part one, depending, only because I think it's that good. Part one, as in we might have this conversation again, because I kind of want to hype this conversation up, because I don't think it's talked about enough. I don't think this idea is talked about enough when it comes to playing video games and liking them or not. And, you know, and full disclaimer, right? This topic, this idea, comes from people that are too analytical about video games. Now, I'm talking, so in this topic, the ideal situation is that every game is fully flushed out, meaning that there are no bugs, there are no glitches, there's no nothing of that. Every single game ideally is at its max potential, right? I'm purely talking only about gameplay and story, right? That's really what I'm talking about. Because I know a lot of people that bash on games and whatever, but like they don't bash on it for like good reasons, you know? I mean, but so bashing on it, and again, this is all part of the disclaimer. People are so fucking spoiled at this point. That's what we're trying to talk about, okay? And I think it's a very heavy conversation because it's like, I was thinking about this the other day, right? I was thinking about this last night. So I picked up Cyberpunk 2077, and because it's on Steam Summer Sale, and I was playing it, and it was very difficult for me to. It kind of really, actually, it kind of throws you in. It kind of really throws you in. And so, like, into the lore, into the world, and like, all right. I mean, the pacing of like the prologue and the tutorial is done really well, but there's just a lot of fucking words, man. There's a lot of shit. And it got me thinking of how, as a child, like as a young child, I've been playing video games since I was like 3, but like I was able to comprehend ideas a lot better. Sure, the language wouldn't be there because I'm fucking 3-4 years old, but like the concept of what to do and what I'm viewing and what I'm seeing, like all the rest of the storytelling was there, and it was like fucking super glue, right? I was the super glue, and the story was just like, wow, nailed it. But nowadays, I feel like as an adult, and I'm not speaking nowadays, I'm speaking as an adult, right? Because I'm trying to think, if I were a child now, would I still feel the same as I did, 25 years ago, 22, 23 years ago? Or would it be different, right? And every generation has different experiences, right? I'm talking purely about, we're not playing games like we did when we were kids. And that's just a hard truth. That is just a hard truth. We are playing video games, and I'm generalizing, sure, but just to get the point across, and this is all just part of the point, and this is why I kind of want to refine this conversation and maybe hype up a part 2.0 kind of thing, just to get I want to get as many people involved in this conversation as possible, because Oh shit, what was I saying? We're not seeing through the lens of a child and the emotions of a child. Those are very raw and very like nowadays. Oh yeah, so people still enjoy video games. People still enjoy stories, and it's very nostalgic, right? But I think because of that, we've been playing games so long, and we've been playing games into our adulthood, that we're analyzing games and we're playing games in the mind of an adult, not of a child. And so we'll never get that same those same chemicals, that same chemical balance as we did when we were kids. And I think that the denial of that, there's a silent denial that I feel like is happening in the entire video game culture. And it's kind of, it's interesting to think about. I want everyone to just kind of like maybe like take, you know, I'm not saying, I'm sure, you know, this is less of a two-sided conversation. This is probably a fresh conversation for a lot of people. I don't know. I've never heard of this. But we're not, and like it's so weird because I remember bashing on Fortnite, right? I'm like, oh, that's a kid's game. It's like, oh no, it's like, no, like it's not. People play Fortnite all the time. All different types of people play Fortnite, and like, yeah, I'm okay, but I won't get like fucking. I don't feel like I'm playing against children, or if I am, they're fucking whooping my ass. Okay, so like, no, it's not a kid's game. It's a kid's game if you're getting like victory royales the entire game, right? But if you're not, and you're an adult, and you're like, oh, game's fucking for kids. All right, give Fortnite a shot. You know, you'll be playing with a lot of different kind of people, and like, there have been like teenagers that have won like tournaments on this game. So like won cash money for this game. My favorite game of all time is Summoner for the PS2. I'm gonna give that quick Summoner. Ooh, Summoner's on Steam. THQ Nordic, 2001, March 19th. Summoners of Toppled Empires. Cool. Looks great. Okay. For the PS2, the game was so fucked, buggy, glitchy, weird audio, awkward world layout, but for all its shortcomings, the game was amazing. All that being said, I fell in love with an okay game 20 years ago. Now games can get updates, DLC, all that shit, and they're still just okay sometimes. Really tells you how good the good parts of older games are. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Your hair looks amazing, by the way. Thanks. Appreciate that. I'm getting a wolf cut here soon, and then I'll grow that part out. So thank you. It means a lot. That means a lot. I think you're onto something though, because nostalgia is a key factor in the way we play video games, and it's a hard truth, because, and I've experienced this, and it's all based on the chemicals in your brain, right? Oh, what's up, Faye? It's all based on the chemicals in your brain, because has anyone tried to go nostalgic hunting and succeeded in terms of like, oh sweet, you're playing the game again, and like, I'm talking old school game, right? Like, that's almost this conversation almost connects to like why like people say Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is the greatest game ever made, or the greatest Zelda game ever made. Not in today's, not in, I mean, but then again, I don't know. Is it not? I don't know. To a lot of, because that was peak gameplay. That was the most advanced gameplay you can do. You had control of the camera. It was a 3D RPG. You could run around. It's awesome at the time, right? And the storytelling was amazing, and it's great. But now at this point in gameplay, I would much rather watch a maybe, because people do a straightforward no talking walkthrough and like run of those games. No, there's no talking. It's just purely focused on the game, like we're just chucking through. I would much rather watch that than have to play it on my own, because I'm not used to that kind of games anymore. We're used to a different kind of medium of playing games. And Tasty, you mentioned Summoner. My favorite game, favorite singular game, my favorite franchise is Kingdom Hearts. Okay. My favorite game of all time is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Okay. Actually, let's take a look at. This might be good for us. Let's take a look at this. Awesome. Fucking awesome. Okay. So if you were to show a kid from today, game was so good, I believe it. Put the beats back on if possible. I restarted the queue, not the queue, but like that song, just so I can throw it back on. So Summoner, I've never played it personally. I've heard about it. But if you were to show a kid maybe 10 years old and younger that trailer, they would think to us, they would think it's fucking Pong. Okay. They would think, what the fuck is this? Like, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too critical on like 10-year-olds, because 10-year-olds are kind of vicious sometimes. I can still explain the plot and lore by typing all that shit. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, I guess that's not like showing this to a 10-year-old isn't the point of this conversation. But like, if you were to play that as an adult, it would feel a lot different than when you were a kid. Probably because we're used to how to play games nowadays. I don't know what the control scheme was like, but you said PS2, so it couldn't have been that much different. But you know, graphics, gameplay, storytelling, they're all changed throughout the years. But like, I guess the point of this conversation is that we're just not kids anymore. We can't register video games as children anymore. So we're being so overly critical of video games now. It's taken up the entire market. It's taken up, like, everyone only hears like adults' opinions, but like, I would actually, like, I don't know, like, I would like to ask somebody like who's like younger, like, what's your current favorite video game? Like right now that you're playing. If they give me Fortnite, that's totally fine. That's totally whatever. And like, I don't know. I mean, think about it. I haven't experienced, like, I mean, you hear about, you know, I mean, you can hear it. You can literally hear children when you're playing Call of Duty, fucking Overwatch, League. You know, they're part of like the multiplayer market. But like, if I were to run into a kid and be like, "What's your favorite game?" and they gave me a story-based game that came out like recently, I'd be like, sweet. You know, like, it's hard to, like, you don't actually know. We're always like oversaturating the words of the next generation of gamers, right? I love that game. You would hate that shit because you're not nostalgic about it. Exactly. I'm not nostalgic. Like, okay, and like, my point to that, my connecting point to that was my favorite game is Knights of the Old Republic. Oh shit. Okay, this might be copyrighted. Hold on. Oh my god, this is the entire... Oh shit, this is not showing me gameplay at all. Here we go.
Commander, wipe this pathetic planet from the face of the galaxy.
Okay, that showed a little bit better gameplay. But this game also, like, it's, if you were to give that to somebody now, right, they would hate it because it runs on a D20 system in the background. So whether you hit something, miss something, doesn't matter what your stats are. Actually, it matters what your stats are, but it's as random as playing D&D. There's literally like coded dice rolling in this game based on like, oh, will you hit or miss? What's your accuracy like? Oh, well, what's your, what's your damage like? All right, it has to be between this number and this number. It might hit max, it might hit min, but it'll be somewhere. Like, it's so secretly like D&D D20 based, and like, sure, it's blocky. Sure, you're not like doing combos up the end. You kind of like, when you encounter an enemy, the entire game pauses so you can like take time to stack up your moves. You're not hitting X to do a swing. You're queuing up your next move. People would hate that. I mean, am I excited for the remaster of this game coming out? Well, I guess it would be a remake. They're completely remaking this game. Hopefully in modern gaming stuff with those combos and stuff. But this game was amazing. This game is amazing. It's freaking $3.49 right now on Steam. Don't let the gameplay take you away from, if anything, it's pretty special actually. But I'm only saying that because I'm nostalgic about it. God, and don't even tell people about Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So okay, so that's it. Just another thing. Like, anybody trying to go back and play the old school Grand Theft Autos? Because Jesus, same shit, old ass looking game. And it's hard to play. Even San Andreas, I would argue the best Grand Theft Auto game, is hard to fucking play. It's just hard. The control scheme is whack, but you know, I've played Vice City, but I never completed it because I couldn't. But like, that's the thing, is like, and I see these memes of like, you got old school Tomb Raider, right? You got the Angelina Jolie looking, like, you know, polygon looking Lara Croft, and even like 007, right? GoldenEye, 007 GoldenEye. Like, those were peak graphics at the time, and we're like, there's no way we can get further than this. And now we have, like, every game looks exactly like it, like looks real, and it's amazing. And so, like, yeah, and like, there's a fascinating video. I would love to, like, because I feel like I've talked about this. I think it's Watch Mojo Well, celebrities. Wait. Voice acting in video games. Where did I see this? I swear it was like a YouTube thing. I'll have to figure out what I was talking about. They put mocap on dogs. They put mocap on anything and everything just to get the emotion right. But then they slap on their art style and boom. And so, like, I think what I'm trying to get at is that it's so hard to not truly, I guess, because, you know, video games are made by adults, so like it's only fair to, but I think the conversation is that we overanalyze video games to a point where it oversaturates the importance of the video games themselves, the video game as an entity. I mean, I'm not in other, like, a lot of other cultures. I mean, same thing with movies too. Like everyone's a fucking movie critic, you know, like people generalize so much. I do the same thing. I'm a victim of that, but I'm not a victim. I'm a doer of that. But I do it because it, like, I intentionally make people upset. But I know a good movie. I try to differentiate, oh, that movie was whack, versus I didn't like that movie. You know what I mean? I wasn't personally a fan. And I don't know, it's like I don't make movies. I don't fucking direct. I don't write. I don't do any of that shit. So for my voice to be like, oh yeah, that was a bad movie, it's like, no, it fucking wasn't. You don't know. Shut up. Same thing with video games. Like, you don't know if it's a bad game. You don't know if it's a good game. You either like it or you don't. And like, I guess, and I just wanted to like like I've played like just like that. Knights of the Old Republic. Think about, okay, you know, mental challenge. Think about the oldest game you've ever played, but like as a kid, and how, and this kind of goes back to like the nostalgia trip part of the conversation. It's like, yeah, play one of those games as an adult and your entire perspective has changed. I like another great game I thought I enjoyed was Banjo-Kazooie for the N64. I thought it was great. I played it again as an adult and I was like, this doesn't feel right. The chemicals weren't there anymore. The chemicals were gone, because as a child it was about everything else. But as an adult, I was like, I wasn't able to construct those emotions again. That chemical reaction of like, oh yeah, bear, bird, like colors, polygons. Like, no, I was just like, this is just a collection game. Like, that's all I could get through in my head. Then we got Kojima out here blazing the trail of producers who make shit he wants to see. And you are absolutely, I think that's just sage advice, really. You know what I mean? Like, make the thing you want to see. Was I a fan of Death Stranding? No. I didn't like Death Stranding. I gave it a shot. I got like 2 streams in. But all I was doing was walking, right? That game wasn't for me personally. However, because of all the effort put into it, does that my opinion, I just didn't like it. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game. I gave it an honest try. Thank you, Tasty. Absolutely. If you give something an honest try and just say you didn't like something, that's totally fine. Totally fine. I've talked about that. It wasn't even a hot take Tuesday. It was just like I was just ranting, I feel like. But having like, yeah, okay, yeah, because there's even a sequel coming out, right? And like Kojima like was just like, peace out. Was it Kojima Productions or whatever? Made his own, no, Kojima, no, Konami. I think it was Konami. She's like, I'm out of here. And then boom, made his own fucking thing. Like, I don't like sweets, but that doesn't mean M&M's taste bad. Exactly. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as, yo, root beer float, ice cream and soda, trash. You're fucking on drugs if you think that, right? If you generalize that kind of idea. But if you say you don't like it, that's totally fine. And I'm not gonna bash you on for not liking it. Comedy fucked him out. Fucked him on a bunch of shit. Exactly. So it's like, I'm out. I want to make what I want to see. Boom. I follow him on Instagram. I follow him on Twitter. His pics are phenomenal. Very aesthetic. He's just like, oh yeah, I went to see this movie. It was great, you know. So he made his own game company with Mads Mikkelsen and Norman Reedus. Like, exactly. Like, I want to know what, like, because Kojima is very prevalent in, I mean, we know him in video games, but he's got to have some swing in, like, in the movie industry, just in general, because he's such a big fan. Like, I want to know how that phone call went, because I know he loves Norman Reedus to death. And like, they're homies, and like, I want to know like the phone call went with Mads Mikkelsen and Norman Reedus. I want to know how that went, you know. And they're like, okay, they're like, yo, hear me out. Walking simulator, video game, cross country, baby detector of demons, and Matt Mercer's in it too, who's like the voice acting video game guy, right? It's like, yo, hear me out. There's goop, there's mail, there's babies. Trust me. Is that? They're like, all right, down, sign me up. So he made his own video game company with Mads Mikkelsen and oh yeah. While producing, he'd go outside and pretend to smoke while they smoke. Just to... yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yep. He just wanted to hang out with his homies still, and he's just like, I'm just gonna come out and smoke, but pretend, because I don't do that. But go for it, you know. Yeah. And see, like, that is one of the few instances. Well, I don't want to say few. That's me generalizing. My apologies. But like, that is a video game developer who is making, like, who's making stuff from the heart. Oh, what's up, Desh? Desh, what's your oldest, like, what's your favorite nostalgia-based game? Just out of curiosity. He's making something that he wants, and it's coming straight from the heart, right? Do I know for a fact who's the fucking Bethesda guy? Tasty. If I tell you, you would not believe it, because it's very niche. Fire away. Kojima's favorite genre of video games are the ones he made. Boom. I can't even place Death Stranding into a genre. I don't even know. It's an adventure game, I think. I guess. I mean, that's even just an umbrella term on its own. What was I thinking about? It is Sims 2 PSP edition. It has to be a PSP edition. Oh, okay. And I'm not lying. I believe you. Only because my favorite Sims game is The Sims Castaway for the Nintendo DS. That is a peak Sims game. All the other ones, whack. I didn't play the Sims 2 PSP edition, but I played the Sims Castaway on the DS. It was amazing. Oh shit, what was I just thinking about? I made a great point. I was wondering about something. Master Bros. Best nostalgic game. Video games coming from the heart. I'm not lie to you, never played it. Does it have a storyline or is it just regular Sims? It has a storyline, so that's why I think it's good. Linear Sims games are good. Okay, you create your character, but then after that, you still eat, drink, clean, piss, sleep, but then at the same time you have to find your way on the island, off the island. So it's very linear, and you find people to help you out in your journey, but it's very linear. It has the base of like taking care of a human being, but without the creating your own world type stuff. The PSP could have been called the PPS. The portable PlayStation, but it would then be called PPs. What does PSP stand for? Portable. Oh, PlayStation Portable. Yeah, they probably like workshop that. They're probably like, yo, a portable PlayStation, the PP. All right, the PlayStation Portable, the PSP. Yo, that's totally how that went down. That's straight up how that went down in the workshop. All right, in the office, they're like, fuck, scratch that. Mid pitch, move the word over here. Same, because the same words. I just moved it over. Oh man, I had a great thought. I just forgot what it was. It had something to do with like making games from the heart. Oh no, Todd Howard. That was the name I was going for. Todd Howard. I don't know Todd Howard. I don't know. It's hard to see. It's hard to predict what he's up to. But does Todd Howard make games from the heart? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. Have the games been great? 100%. 10 years ago, I would have been like, I would trust Todd Howard with my life. I know he's the game director. He's not the head of Bethesda, even though like it might as well be. But now that Xbox owns Bethesda, but Xbox now owns Obsidian, so there's a possibility for New Vegas 2, which I'm pretty sure has been leaked. Yeah, there's rumors about a New Vegas 2, which would be sweet. It'd be amazing. As long as it doesn't look like Outer World. Was it? I always got confused with something else. Outer Worlds. Yeah, I didn't like Outer Worlds. I wasn't a fan, actually. I wanted to like it, but I didn't. PSP edition is basically you're lost in the middle of the desert, your car broke down, you buy a whole ass mansion for a few bucks. Dear God, the house is haunted. Let's greet the neighbors. Oh shit, do a lot of things. Okay, so it's linear. That sounds great. That sounds fantastic. See, like linear. That's another hot take Tuesday. Linear Sims games are better than the mainline games. All in all, I think we should take our time when it comes to judging games, or even like watching or looking at something that judges games, like I'm talking about big shots, right? Or even just like the public opinion, right? Because I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I mean, sure, it's the same but different. As a kid, I cared about the public opinion of my fellow child peers because they experienced the same things I did, but as a kid. And that, I don't know, this conversation can lead in different ways. Like, is video games better for children than it is adults? I don't know. It's an entertainment medium, but like, but then again, that's just another psychological conversation of like, kid, like the child psyche and the child chemistry is so much different than it is as an adult. It's so raw that you can see so many different things and feel so many different things, whereas an adult, it gets limited to like 5 things, all of the above if you're lucky, right? Like, and that's just more of a, it's not like a, oh, this world did this to me thing. It's a chemistry thing. It's a straight up chemistry thing. So what I would suggest is just kind of trying to tap in to your inner child. Everyone has one. Tap into that inner child when you're playing games, because I feel like, and that's what I was trying to get at earlier, I feel like a lot of adults that are fans of video games are playing video games for the sake of satiating that inner child. That's why a lot of people are trying to get those sequels, the next part of the franchise, the next thing that they were when they were kids. Opening up to a new IP is so much more difficult as it is so much more difficult as an adult than it is a child. I remember having those PS2 Jumpstart demo discs, and I would cycle through those demos. I would play those, and they were either a time demo or a story progression demo, and I would just fly through. I would just play them. If I got bored, I was like, oh, I want to play this demo again. It was so great. I would just, it was like rewatching a movie, but with only minutes long. And we don't do that anymore. Sure, we play a demo, and then like, I don't know, I play a demo, and now I'm expecting the demo to have like to save my story progression until I buy the game, and then I can go from where I left off. But shit, I forgot where I was going with that. Oh yeah, tap into your inner child. Don't be so analytical, and just kind of try to play new games, right? And I think that's where the indie world kind of helps, because AAA studios are always trying to come out with a new game of the franchise. FromSoft keeps their game design but has different IPs, right? You got Demon Souls. Something close is Demon Souls is one game, but then you have Dark Souls, and then you have Sekiro, played very differently than Dark Souls, and then you have Bloodborne. Bloodborne was very linear, as other Souls games, but it had a different genre to it. It had different and then you have Elden Ring, a full-on fantasy open world RPG. Phenomenal, right? But they're not all the same game. They're not always the next variation of they're not the next game of their series. They're just different games. I think FromSoft does that super well. Bethesda's on the right track. Sure, Bethesda has Fallout and Skyrim, 2 different games, but same formula. And they're throwing in Starfield, a third part of that style of game, with using familiar Fallout, Bethesda fashion. That's just what studios do. It's studios, like, for example, like I'm playing right now, Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles, made by the people that made Naruto Ninja Storm. It plays the same. It plays very similarly, but I like having. I would rather a Demon Slayer game be in that medium than, or be in that type of gameplay than like studios that typically make Dragon Ball games. You know what I mean? Although the new Dragon Ball Tenkaichi, is it 4 or 5 that's coming out soon? I don't know. Ugh. And about Fallout, I'll have to come clean and say I never got what Fallout is about. It's just way too much for me. And that's totally fair. That's totally fine. That's how maintaining old online games is so profitable. You don't need a new game, just update the old one, and nostalgia-hungry people will come like flies. Exactly, but you're right, but based on this conversation, I don't want that to be what it's about. I want people to give it a shot. I mean, do objective. So objectively, do bad games exist? Absolutely. 100% they exist. But I think we should chill as a community to decide that. I think we should kind of take a step back, accept. I mean, I know a lot of people that played Forspoken on stream because it was bad, and they used the content out of that to, you know, change it into content for themselves, which is fine. Like, I don't care. Like, hustle, that's fine. But like, there are bad games, there are objective bad games, and there are objective good games. But we need to chill on what decides that. It's not us, right? It's just like, it's not all, I mean, it's not all about us choosing as a society. Like, oh crap, oh, they say this is a bad game, I have to agree. Like, no, like, like, if you do that as an adult, like, that's weird. Don't do that. Just accept like what you like, enjoy what you like, and then fight for what you enjoy. But I would suggest people, but then again, you know, again, neutral, trying to take a neutral take on this. We are adults. We have different brain chemistry than we did as children. And it's literal chemistry. I'm talking like sparks, electricity, and fluid going through your brain is different than we were like 10 and younger. So the objective reality is different than it was back then. So I don't know. I suggest try new things, try new games, tap into your inner child as you play games, and, you know, just give it a shot. You know, maybe you'll find something you like, maybe you find something you won't, but at least you'll know. Dopamine receptors are tired. Exactly. It's rough out there. But I don't talk to like kids that you don't know, but maybe in your family, like nieces, nephews, like cousins, things of that nature. Ask them what their favorite game is. You know, like, try to get that generation's perspective on what their favorite game is. And it's okay if it's a multiplayer game. Sure, not a lot of us had multiplayer games growing up in my generation, but it's okay for them to have that, right? And if they somehow throw out a story-based game, ask them about it. Like, it might be weird for them, right? I remember talking, but at least try to relate. Because I remember adults asking me, oh, what are you playing? As I'm playing my fucking Game Boy. But I know they wouldn't understand because they don't play video games. So it's weird. But if you communicate that you are a gamer yourself as an adult, it might make things a little bit better. Again, don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strange kids. Because that's bad. But children that you're familiar with, that you know, and ask them about their hobbies. Ask them about their video games. You know, what are they playing? You might learn something, because all I see on like Twitter, Reddit, threads, like all this shit. Like, it's people being way too analytical about games and just like, wow, you forgot how to have fun. You're just playing this for the sake of playing it. That's what I meant trying to like spit out somewhere. People, like, I feel like sometimes adults are just playing video games. Adult gamers are playing video games for the sake of just playing games. And it's not about the lessons learned in the medium, storytelling. It's not about that. They're just doing it to satiate something that they had a long time ago, but it's not the same. They think it's the same because they've been doing it every day since then, but there came a point that it was a seamless transition in brain chemistry that's just like, it's weird. It's wild. It's crazy. Think about it. Why do you play video games as an adult? I'm not saying adult gamers are bad. I'm saying, why do you continue from child to adult, continue play video games? And I'll ask the same about the same type of people who've always read books, always listened to music, always watched movies. It's the same. It's literally the same throughout all hobby entertainment mediums. It's the same question. And so I don't know. Like, I mean, something to kind of put into perspective. It's like I went from watching cartoons and now I'm interested in this weird adult drama. Like, why? Because I can relate? Is it all because I can relate now? This is not fun. Like, this doesn't sound fun. I want things that are fun. I know I'm not super duper into dramas. I use a general eye, but I like to watch things that are fun to watch. I like horror stuff. I like watching horror movies, but I'm not a drama person. Like, I need some, even when I'm watching anime, I need some action. I need some of this. I need some of that. Because I don't know, I am an inner child, like that's very active in my life. But because I remember watching as a kid, like people watching soap operas. Like, what's happening? Like, what? Oh, you're in the soap opera. You're dating your sister's like mom that you didn't know about. Like, what? I don't know soap opera. It's just weird. It's weird. I don't know. That's me kind of judging a genre, but like, I need some fun stuff. I need some action-packed stuff. I don't know. I think there's a big difference between bad games and horrible games, for sure. Objective reality. I think multiplayer games will be way more common as things go on. Absolutely, and the sooner we accept that, the better. I'm not a fan. I like my open world single player games, but that's just me. But that sequel thing, I think it hurts the franchise more than it helps. The best example I know is the Resident Evil. The franchise is just tired beyond recognition. The worst offender for me is RE6. I played through the whole game and it just doesn't click as Resident Evil. Just use zombies, kind of familiar characters, just free dopamine, not for the enjoyment of playing it. I think we're onto something. And we did do a Hot Take Tuesday on like sequels are bad and remakes are bad, but Resident Evil lately has been getting a good formula of like Biohazard was great, Village was great, and now they're remaking their older games. I mean, Resident Evil 4, the latest remake on their docket, has seen some positive stuff, and that's an interesting like part of the conversation. Like that's the remake version is the like making remakes is the triad of this particular topic and my sequels and remakes topic. It's just like boom, it's right there, because I talked about my favorite game is Knights of the Old Republic, but they're remaking it. I'm very excited about that because it will hit the adult version much differently than the kid version that played it of myself, but in a modern gameplay, if that makes sense. They're not bad, but you must do it right. Exactly. I'm definitely going to look this stream over. I'm going to kind of rewatch it on my own time And I think they're quickly running out of luck because the last thing I remember is RE5. I think you're on something, Dash. I think you're on something. I would like to hype this conversation up for maybe a version 2. Not next week, but definitely later in the future. Because I think it's a conversation we should talk about and share and be like, run into somebody like, oh, that game was trash. It's like, why? And like, I'm not a game developer. I have no idea. Bro, Knights of the Republic release stream? Absolutely. That sucker will come out in 2025 or something. Late, but absolutely. I'll be right here. But just the hair looking nice, yo. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. What think about that? Just kind of ponder on this conversation of, are video games aren't getting worse, you're just not a kid anymore. Say that to somebody who's like kind of overtaking games or over analyzing games. It's like, yo, the game sucked. It's like, did it though? I don't know. It's hard to say. But no, they're not getting worse. No, absolutely not. I don't think so at all. A lot of people would say so, but we're also in this kind of acceleration of the amount of games that release in a year compared to 2001, you know. So they should market more towards adults. Sure, bad games do come out, but you're all dopamine, brother. Exactly. Chemical doesn't exist anymore, so what's up with that? But I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Ponder this, share this on your social media, kind of maybe talk about it with people. I don't know. I don't even like spit my name out, but just kind of talk about that. You know what I mean? But thank you for sitting here, hanging out with me for my Hot Take Tuesday. I'll be sure to be more prepared for next week. There will be no Spooky Saturday this Saturday, for I will be in oh God, I always forget. I will be in San Jose this weekend for Mag West with the Game Raven crew. So no Spooky Saturday, but I'll be back on Tuesday for a Hot Take Tuesday. I promise to be more prepared. But maybe I won't even do a Hot Take Tuesday. Maybe I will just play a game. Because to be honest, I was at the ready to play my Demon Slayer game while I was talking, but I don't know, the conversation got, it was kind of something I was more passionate about than I realized. So Desh, have a wonderful night or day. I don't know what time it is over there. I can't remember the fake excuse. Reading it out of the script, yo. I'm just kind of spitting, you know. I took Tasty's advice that he texted me and I just kind of went off. It's probably see 1:52 a.m. All right, have a good morning. Sure. I'll see you cats next week. Follow me on Discord and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, and join me on my journey through San Jose. Time zones aren't as big as you think. Time zones are a fucking man-made construct, man. We should be on Earth time. All right. Not heckin' time zones. The second aliens show up, we'll be on Earth time. There'll be one singular Earth time. We'll be like, oh fuck. That's next week, Hot Takes Tuesday. Aliens changing how much of the world we actually live in. Time zones are literally Earth times. They're not Earth times, they're sun times. They're just like where the sun hits, you know. I'll fucking forget about Antarctica and Alaska though, because, you know, oh, it's dark now, it's gonna be nighttime. It's gonna be like 9 p.m. But for Alaska and Antarctica, it's like, oh, it's, and I think, no, and even like Greenland and Iceland, I think too. It's like, all right. Oh man, it's so bright. What time is it? Like 1 p.m.? Nah, it's 11 p.m., my guy. Trash. Just be consistent. Time is a solar construct as we know it. Absolutely. It's from a solar cycle relative to the Earth. Yeah, just time zones don't need to exist. Just the time zone needs to just be Earth. I count it because humans are weird, but we don't need to. Please stop people believing this. Please stop people believe this. Believe what? That their time zones shouldn't exist? It should just be one singular time? Ugh. And like, oh, some New Year's, like scientists are like, all right, add 1 more second to the ball drops. That way we don't fuck up. It's like there are already places that are fucked up. All right, I don't need your shit. Just count. This should be just singular time. Ugh. Because the last thing I want to do is go to fucking space and travel and go, you know, be like, oh fuck, what time will it be when I get to Earth? Oh, it'll be about this time. No, I meant this time zone. It's like, oh, you have time zones? I don't want to be fucking weird. Do you think aliens have time zones? Probably not. They probably stick to a singular planetary time. It's trash. We have to know the solar cycle, where we are relative to the cycle where someone else is. Why? So what's someone else? We all live here. The temperature will go colder and warmer. That's all I need. As far as I know, actually no. If you actually Google this, because I Googled it a couple months ago, it's really all because of farmers. It's farmers, bro. Farmers control the time. Because they have to know when to fucking wake up, but they have a rooster for that. But like crops and shit, it's all fucking like big pharma, bro. Farmers control the time zones, and it's bullshit. Just keep Earth to one time. That way we don't like a fucking idiot when aliens come down. Be like, what time is it? Depends on where you land, and then they'll be like, oh, let's get out of here. I don't want that. If it's already happened, I'm pretty sure it's already happened. They fucking flew Roswell down, landed in Nevada, like, yo, what time is it? They're like, I mean, here it's this time, but like in fucking this part of our singular planet, it's this time. They're like, what? And they started spouting nonsense, and that's why Area 51 got them, because they had I want to fucking lose it. I want to lose my goddamn mind. Don't wake up your mom in Australia at 2 a.m. She's really tired. Planetary time is an oxymoron. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Big Pharma is in charge, man. That's what I'm saying. And like, it's a fucking different day in another, like right now, it's a different day somewhere. I mean, actually, Dash, it's a different day for you right now than it is for me right now. What the fuck? It's stupid. I'm done. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna lose it. This is a Hot Take Tuesday next week. We're gonna talk about this. Technically, you're in the future. Why didn't you tell us about all the catastrophe? I'm like, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Brain, Taz, your brain came out of your head like a fucking play doll, and that's why it's so long. I'm gonna lose it. I'm out of here. I'm out. I'm fucking out. I'm fucking out. I'm the 12th. It's the 11th. It's the fucking 11th. Oh my god. Can't. One planetary time. I'm gonna tweet this shit. If I don't come back next week, it's gonna be because of the fucking Area 51. I swear to God. I'm out of here. I'm gonna play some Cyberpunk or something. Freaking out of here. Oh Jesus. I'm in your walls.